there is a level of enlightenment that doesn't come back. It doesn't come back into the society to help all sentient beings. That's the old Buddha story, where he sat under a tree, whatever it was, 12 years, 2 years, and then he came back to help all sentient beings. That same story is in the Zohar about Shimon ben Yochai. He was in hiding, and they stayed, I think it was 12 years in a cave, and then he came out, and he was too high, and so he went back into the cave for another year, and then he came out kind of like regulated into the society and helped all sentient beings. Well, this is a social metaphor. There's a level that doesn't come back. You're not going to read about that level, because he's not part of the society. He left. It's kind of like how Shimon ben Yochai and his son were when they first came out of the cave. Before they went back in a year to get, what they called social higher, which meant socialize. It's not. First of all, nobody wants it. Each individual has to want it himself. It's not somebody else that can do it. As a tennis teacher for all these 40 years, nobody really wanted to learn. They wanted to do it, but their way, and I don't blame them. Do it your way. Have it your way. Burger King. But there's a whole level that I'm going to tell you, I'm going to represent. It's not coming back. And the reason they don't come back is that they acquire bodies of light. And they keep going up. Because it's unending going up. They say that after a person has his enlightenment, then he has to wait for everybody to be enlightened, and then the Mashiach will come. And like a personal Mashiach comes for each individual enlightened man, but not the general Mashiach. Well, for me, there's never going to be a general Mashiach. I'm only interested in the personal Mashiach. And quite frankly, this is Gan Eden for me. And I've been resurrected from the dead. And one of the reasons I'm resurrected from the dead is I don't care if I live or die. Let's see. It's beyond the question of physical pleasures. It's changing a melech, a king, into a malach. This aleph, it enters into you. Is the ore, the light, and the body of light. And as we're going to approach the Yom HaKippurim, we are like melechs, malachs. And that's the individual's goal. And so it's not only vegetarianism, it's no food. But there's a level that you can attain to, which is enlightened. And then you don't come back. If you come back, that's fine, but that's a lower form of enlightenment. And that's what the society is going to promulgate, and that keeps people beneath the wheel. But if the real level was shown, they're out of it. No longer a taxpayer in the society. No longer a producer for television. So this is a deep point here, that the highest aspects and levels of development and enlightenment, you won't know them. I mean, you won't know the people that are on them because they're not interested in promoting it. You're going to take some idiot with them? And as Gurdjieff used to say, why would an enlightened man come back and teach you? Why would he spend his time, his lifetime, teaching you? Teaching me, I mean. Why? The only reason why is if he can make some money out of it. And then they do it for a short period of time. And the only reason they come back down is to, do some physical necessities. But, every religion always has it even in Christianity, Christ died for your sins. It's for you. In Judaism, it's the same type of thing where they come down and help the enlightened people help you. And the Buddha is that figure where, helps all sentient beings. And when you think of it, it's a joke. There's an individual Mashiach. And when the individual finds it, that is the general Mashiach. Because you're enlightened. And then you realize, whoa, what you're surrounded by, and so you remove. Enlightened, then removed. And spend the rest of the time removed, elevating consciousness, the spiritual level, finding ways to elevate it the best you can. So, when you think about it, if the guy's really enlightened, he's removed himself from the social structure. I could tell you 5 things that happen today within the social structure. What a waste of time, energy, consciousness. Life, it's not like, oh, come down, that'll raise you, Or some of the phrases, I learned from every person, but the most I learned from was my students. That's not true. That's the lower level of keeping people within the social structure and beneath the wheel. There's a level of religiosity and religion and Judaism too that you have to find for yourself. And when you find it for yourself, you won't need somebody else's imprimatur, whatever the word is, approval. And you'll get out. No doubt.